Hey, 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 how are you doing? Such a pleasure to have you here with me this evening or afternoon or whatever time it is for you, actually. Yes, great. We're here for Monetize Your Purpose, and it's going to be really cool for you to actually just listen into some stuff, get some powerful ideas that will help you realize that actually the stuff inside of you can be monetized. And also, you know, that in some ways, my belief is that it should be monetized, that there's a reason that everything that has happened to you has happened to you. There's a reason you have the particular skills and experiences that you have, and all of that stuff. But anyway, we're going to talk about all of that. I am Rosemary Nonny, by the way, in case you do not know. And as always, it's a pleasure to have you here. I normally start with a bit of a how you doing, how you doing, how you doing, yeah. So why not start like that as well on this wonderful webinar? Okay, so that's my smiley face over there. Today's masterclass, we'll be looking at 10 powerful ideas that'll get you making a difference, which I know is quite important to you, and monetizing your skills, experiences, history. Like I started to say there, it's one thing to want to make a difference. It's one thing to want to impact lots of people, but it's another thing to actually be able to then take care of your responsibilities at the same time as doing it. And I do absolutely, completely know that it is absolutely possible for you to find a way to do this. And we're going to be talking about some of the reasons why you do not find a way to do it and things that will get in the way of you doing that. And that's part of the reason why I put this on, actually, was because I see so many people. I speak to quite a lot of people, and one of the big things for them is that they just can't see how they can take what is inside of them and actually make some money from it. In fact, for a lot of people, actually, they don't even know that it's a possibility. We've gotten so used to living life a certain way where, you go to school, college, all of that stuff, and then you get a job, and that's kind of it. And then you do everything that you dream about doing. You do that on the side, and the few lucky people get to do it for their life. But the rest of the population is just supposed to just kind of do their 9 to 5 or 9 to 8 or 9 to whatever it is for you, or 8 to 6, and be happy with it. And I just don't think that that is what we are designed for. And a lot of you on this, in fact, one of the reasons you're here is because you know that is not all your life is supposed to be about. You are supposed to be doing more. I spoke to a lady not so long ago, and one of the things she said is that she's just always known that she's destined for greatness. And I know that for me, that was definitely something, or has always been something. I went through a whole long time thinking that that just made me proud, and I shouldn't say such things out loud. And but learned that actually, yeah, there's a reason you feel that way. It is because it's the truth, okay? It's not just your pride. It's not just your, I don't know what you think it might be. It is literally because that idea, that thought has been planted inside of you for a reason, for you to actually fulfill it. And it can seem way big out there. And I've had people actually run away from the hugeness of their vision before. And hopefully that won't be you, because it is possible. I'm not saying it's always easy peasy lemon squeezy, but I am saying it is possible. And I am also saying that it is worth it to figure out the way to make it your reality. Rather than thinking that there is no way you can make it a reality, why not make it your reality? Anyway, that's what this masterclass is about. I was sitting around thinking about what to present to the community, because, yeah, I really want to. I'm all about Project 334K. Okay, the thing about you getting on the phone with people is that they're always asking, "But why are you doing this? What is in it for you?" Okay, and for me, it literally is Project 334K. And I'll tell you a little bit of my story anyway. But for me, 334,000 people achieving financial independence, making a dent on the planet. And really, that is the big idea. That's ultimately the goal for me, at least the current goal. 334K may go up to 4 million and beyond. But for right now, it's 334,000 people just being supported via different means to achieve financial independence and to live free, purpose-driven lives. So not just financial independence doing any old thing, but financial independence doing the thing that they're actually here to do. Because I have kids and I want them to have grandchildren, and we live in a world where there's crazy and interesting people at the top, because the spirit-driven, the purpose-driven are not. They're not. They're not at the top. They don't have the money. You cannot. It is as much as people want to live some kind of a happy clappy life where, oh no, I don't need money. It's not the truth. You may not for your immediate needs. Maybe you are okay. Maybe you have looked after your family and all of that kind of stuff. But if you do not have a surplus in order to actually impact more people, then to me, that is selfish. So I say financial independence so that if people start to step up and you have more than enough, and not just by doing any old thing, because I know for us, we want to do the thing that we're actually here on this planet to do. So yes, financial independence, doing the thing that you're here to do and making a dent on the planet. That is my big idea. And that's why I'm putting on this. And that wasn't supposed to be here. But here we are talking about that. I really hope everyone can hear me. And if you cannot hear me, there is a chat box there. Do tell me, because I actually did one of these webinar things and I spoke for about 45 minutes and it was the best stuff ever. It was like a download from heaven. And I realized at the 45-minute mark that I hadn't switched on the microphone. So I'm just going to type in here, can you hear me? Because it'd be helpful if somebody, although you guys sometimes are really unwilling to say anything, but if you can tell me whether you can hear me, that would be really, really helpful, because I do not want, I have switched on the microphone this time. So hopefully everyone can hear me, but I just, I like to check. But anyway, I'm going to carry on. And if you're cool, type in yes. Anyway, so yeah, stick with me to the end of this webinar, and I will be sending out to, well, no, you will have to ask for it, actually, else I will not know, because there's quite a few of you here. But so stick with me to the end. When we get to the end, you can ask for, there's a particular report that I've put together, which will go into the detail of a Facebook strategy that I'm using with myself and my high-end clients to get customers, all that stuff. And I will send that out to you if you stick with me to the end. Now, make sure you stick with the end. And I've had people actually send me an email that they didn't actually stay to the end. And I can check. I kind of ignore those people because I just think, nah. Okay. So, yes, although sometimes I'm generous, but most of the time it's like, nah, you keep your end of the bargain and I'll keep mine. Okay. So, yeah, if you want that report breaking down a particular, very simple strategy that you don't even have to have a website or anything for, but it will actually start you generating customers, clients, recruits, or whatever it is you need for your business, then make sure you stay to the end and I'll send that out to you, okay? Okay, so before we start properly, I kind of like to do a very quick, switch off everything. Oh, hey, Adrian and Euphemia and Natalie, thank you for responding. Thank you. Great that you can hear me. Excellent. Okay, so let's just calm down for a second here. First and foremost, if I could ask you to switch off everything, it's like I'm sitting right now in a darkened room, hoping that my children don't come knocking through the door. I was going to go upstairs to the office, but my husband is in there. But anyway, so I'm here, and I kind of wanted to just really center myself, and I want to center you as well, because I want to make sure that the words that I'm speaking to you in this extended time together are words that you need to hear. So for all of you on this call, on this webinar, that you get from it exactly what you need to get from it. But I can only do that if you will pay attention, okay? So please make sure you switch off things, get your notepad out, record the ideas that kind of bubble up inside of you, because they will, okay? Your creativity will be enabled in this time that we spend together. Do not let ideas go away. Even if it's kind of almost random, make a note. Make a note, because it could be the difference between you making a little bit of money or impacting somebody's life or not. But this will only happen if you're paying attention. This will only happen if you're here with me in the room. So for this time, can I just ask that you even almost close your eyes right now and just take in a deep breath. And then release everything that doesn't serve you as you breathe out. You can even say that to yourself. I release everything that doesn't serve me. And then breathe in good stuff. Breathe in joy. Breathe in happiness. Breathe in attention. Breathe in possibility and opportunity and spirit. And breathe out everything that doesn't serve you. So whatever your day has been like so far, Just release it and be here. And I just truly affirm for every single person listening in, whether you're listening to the recording or you're listening to me live right now, that you will receive what you need to receive from this call. You will get what you need to get. You will leave here rejuvenated. You will leave here re-inspired. You will leave here knowing that it is absolutely possible for you to create the life that you desire for yourself, for your family, for your community, that you will have the impact that you're here to have. And you will make a difference. You will create wealth for you and yours. Amen. Okay, so let's carry on. So who is this for? Really, it is, as I mentioned earlier, for people who know, even if you kind of kept it quiet because you don't say that stuff out loud. But I still remember as a teenager, I used to say it to my friends a little bit, but I think they all thought I was a bit crazy or a bit deluded, basically. But I've always known inside of me that I was called to something more. And you probably have always done that, but yeah, we've been taught to downplay ourselves. We've been taught to kind of pretend we're not who we are. And that seems to be the good, holy thing to do. And I'm here to remind you of who you are. To remind you that actually the dreams in your heart are absolutely possible. To remind you that your vision is your mission. And yes, you are in the right place. Okay? Yeah, you may be feeling a bit stuck. Something has happened or has been happening, and it feels a little bit like you're rerunning the same cycle. Yeah, you found a little bit of peace or whatever in your life or some success, but it's nowhere near what you're capable of and you know it. But you can't quite seem to break through, so here you are. Okay? Yeah, you're trying to be thankful, but it can be a struggle at times because it just feels as if sometimes things are just kind of getting thrown at you. But you are standing still. You are standing still, not standing still. You are here. You've overcome. Whichever way, you are still moving forward. And that is definitely a sign that you are strong. It's also a sign that, yeah, whatever you've gone through, it's not a waste. It's so that it can be used to support other people. It can be used, yeah, to support other people, really. So just remember that nothing that's happened to you has ever been a waste. And ultimately, right now, you're ready for change. And so you're in the right place, man. Let's get to talking about change and the different ways that you can bring that into your life. Okay. So, hey, this is me, Rosemary Nonny Knight, a weird blend of African and English. Okay, born in the UK, lived a long time in Nigeria. So feel very African, more than, well, I feel African. My family, African family, think I'm not African enough, basically. So I've never quite fit anywhere because obviously I'm not white and I'm not really black enough, but hey, whatever. Ultimately, I've learned to just kind of be happy with who I am and learned to be confident enough to not just go along with whatever anybody wants me to, okay? I used to dabble at business for a long time, particularly pre-children. I knew even then, as I said already, that I was supposed to be doing something more, but it was comfortable. Even the pain of my story, which I could go into deep, dark parts of my story, but there's just no point right now. Even then, sometimes you can get comfortable with the pain of your story. You can sometimes get comfortable with your story. It becomes your identity. And for me, that definitely was the truth for a while there, that even though I was struggling for a long time until I became a pharmacist, and even when I became a pharmacist, I was still struggling. I thought that would be the answer to everything, and it wasn't. Ultimately, but even though I was struggling, it still was a comfortable kind of struggle, and people can get very comfortable in their struggle, basically. And I was definitely comfortable with my struggle, so I'd start businesses and then dabble a little bit, but then if it got a little bit more uncomfortable than I was willing to take, or a bit more uncomfortable than my current uncomfortability, then I'd go back to my current uncomfortability. basically. And so that's why I say there I was a business dabbler. And I know a lot of people, a lot of you guys might have been business dabblers or might be business dabblers. You know you're born for more. You know you're called to something. You know you don't want to work for somebody else, but then somehow you're not completely committed to your business. Or, yeah, you are, but maybe you're just you feel as if you're running very fast to stand still. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Anyway, finally, I went bankrupt, and yes, I know, not quite like that, but after lots of crazy decisions on my part, I didn't learn to say no on time, so I kept saying yes to things that I really shouldn't have been saying yes to. I was also quite silly with my money, because I was operating from a place of lack all the time, operating from a place of lack. Okay, and so even though I was making more money than I ever had, I somehow seemed to be in more debt than I'd ever been. But that goes both ways, in that the more money you earn, sometimes, especially if you're not sorted with your money mindset, then yes, you do tend to spend more as well. And so I always found ways to spend money. Like, I wanted to help lots of young girls, so I'd take them off for conferences and pay for everything and pay for their accommodation and all of this stuff, which was not a bad thing on the face of it, but you cannot help people from a place of weakness. Okay, and I was in a place of weakness, telling myself that I was strong, and kept doing things instead of stabilizing my position so that I could continue to help more and more people. And some of you are making that mistake right now because you really want to help, you really want to give, but you are not in the position to do any of those things, and you're not creating you're not allowing yourself to create the financial independence that will allow you to do it and do it consistently, rather than do a bit here and then be worried about whether you're going to be able to eat or something, basically. But anyway, that was me for a while there. And then, bankruptcy came and found me. Or no, I went and found it, because I was pregnant with my first daughter and spent the whole time crying because I really couldn't figure out what I was going to do, because I was working 60 to 80 hours to kind of keep our heads above water. And now I'm pregnant, which was not a mistake. I definitely wanted to be pregnant, but I didn't realize just how emotional it was going to be, truth be told. And it was very emotional, because I kept thinking, because I'd always thought that I'd hand away my child as soon as she was born. As in send her to childcare, and I'd just carry on with work, because I was, even in those days, I was like, yeah, I'm changing the world, man. But then I got pregnant. I realized, got to change the world for my daughter first. So no, nobody's taking her from me. I'm not going to give her away at 6 weeks like I thought I would. So what am I going to do? Because I am in so much debt and I don't know what to do. And then I also got a tax bill to just kind of top it all up. And it was just like, I don't know what else to do. So bankruptcy seemed to be the option. And so bankruptcy was. And then the next day I woke up completely blank and dead inside. Okay. Because I felt like a failure. I felt like, oh my gosh, I've just, what kind of a mess have I created for myself right now? So the only way I could deal with it was to go numb on the inside. And so I was really dead inside. I call it the blank. Because for a while there, I couldn't feel anything. I just felt dead inside. And it literally was the morning after going bankrupt. So I know it was all to do with that. And just feeling like that was the only way I could cope. And anyway, I gave birth to my daughter 2 months later and buried myself into being a mother, and then had 2 more children and all of that stuff. But for that 4-year period, I really was truly blank on the inside. I loved my children. I loved my husband. But that was kind of it. I couldn't really do anything else. And I just couldn't seem to wake up. I felt as if I don't know, it just felt so horrible on the inside. But anyway, that was 4 years, and me thinking, when will my life begin? Yes, we are night chicks in this household. We're all into Disney princesses. And so I still remember actually watching this when it came out. This was actually when I was starting to wake up, because I finally, having given birth to my third child, realized, oh, well, still broke. Buried head in sand doesn't actually change anything. So either I'm going to have to go back to full-time work and working 60, 80 hours, and the children are going to have to go to nursery, or I am going to have to pull my finger out and figure something out. And I remember watching this, and she's coming out of the tower, and she's kind of not sure whether to run back home to safety or to carry on into who knows what, because she's always been in this tower. And now I know this is Rapunzel, just in case you guys are really not into Disney and you don't know who this is, but it's Rapunzel, and she's been in the tower all her life, okay? And she's kind of singing this song about when will my life begin, and should she go back home, it's very safe. but in a tower away from everyone, or should she explore and try and see something new? And I remember it really resonating with me at that time, because it was like, okay, I have these choices. Am I going to go back to being a pharmacist because it's comfortable? I hate it, but it's comfortable. Or am I going to step out and do something that could really remove the cap on my income and allow me to be home with my children and change everything? And finally, I made the decision to really go into property, so real estate. Because I thought I could take my girls with me, when I'm viewing and all that stuff, and hide them in the car when I'm not, when I don't want people to see them, basically, which was great fun, because I was trying to put on this persona of professional businesswoman, didn't want anybody to see my children, and so you hide your children in the car around the corner, and then, or when you're answering the phone, you run into the garage, you close the door quick, and and it was things like that. But ultimately, yeah, I made the decision to get into business and actually commit this time. So this time I went immediately and found someone to train me. I trained for God knows how many years to become a pharmacist, and suddenly realized that how dare I give my business ideas, my business ventures, any less priority in my life. If I'd spent I spent 25 years becoming a pharmacist, basically, how dare I think that I can just jump into business and expect it all just to fall into place just because I jumped into it. And maybe that works for other people, but for me, I knew I needed to make a commitment. And so I went and found myself a coach, a mentor, a mastermind group. I paid out £10,000 that I did not have, but I knew that I had to make that commitment. It was one of those internal things that I just absolutely knew that I had to do it. And so I did it. I paid out this money, scared to death. My husband's scared to death. What are we going to, are you sure? Especially since he'd watched me dabbling for a while there. And it was like, yeah, this is coming back. I'd look at my girls' eyes. I'd be like, yeah, there's no way they're going through the same stuff I went through. There's no way they're going to have a mom that isn't there. So this is going to work, basically, somehow. And there was a lot of tears and well, blood, sweat, and tears that year, particularly because I was dealing with the internal limiting beliefs around the fact that I'd gone bankrupt, the fact that I felt like I'd failed myself. So how dare I think that I could now somehow not fail myself, and all of that internal stuff that kind of keeps people running around in circles and not getting anywhere. And I don't want this to go on too long, so I better carry on. And anyway, at the 12-month mark, I was awarded this Porsche Boxster for building a business. So that was pretty dang amazing. And that also gave me a little bit more confidence in myself again to realize that actually, yes, when I set my mind, there's nothing I cannot do. When you set your mind, there is nothing you cannot do. Please understand that when you set your mind, when you know that there is no way except success, honey, success will have no choice but to find you. That is it. And so that was, for me, that was that confirmation. Winning this Porsche Boxster was more of a thing for my husband, but for me, it was, especially since the insurance on it for me was terrible, seeing that I'd written off 2 cars the month before I won it. So basically, just to add to my drama, a month before winning this car, I'd written off 2 cars, had 2 car accidents in the space of 3 weeks. And it was, oh my gosh. I cannot even begin to tell you the drama around my life at that time. But anyway, I won this car. It really affirmed things in me. Within 6 months of that, I more than replaced my pharmacist income, managed to leave pharmacy altogether. And that changed everything, really, because suddenly I wasn't attached to being a pharmacist any longer. I could go on and do other things. And then people started asking if I can help them with their stuff. And one of the things that I'd always known that I wanted to do, and in fact, I tried to do little bits of, was coach. Okay. But I thought I had to wait until I was at least 72 with lots of life experience under my belt. Then maybe I could do it. And some of you are waiting on your dreams, or some of you are waiting on your vision, telling yourself you're not ready yet, and that you're not experienced enough yet, that you don't have enough something yet, and you have to keep jumping through this other hoop or the other hoop or the other hoop. Thankfully, I had a coach who said, if that is what you want to do, just get on and do it. And so I did start, and I was scared to death again. Basically, I was kind of juggling these businesses and my children, and I home educate. It was great fun. I still home educate. I still juggle businesses. But the truth is, you create space for the things that are important to you. Take that on board, okay? Okay, so that's kind of my story, and that's where I started from. And hopefully, there's bits in there that resonated with you, and then you start to see what is possible for you once you put your mind you really decide, really commit, where it's not maybe something will work, maybe, and if it doesn't, I have this plan B here. No, if you're gonna play, then play full out. Okay, if you're gonna play full out. Commit to the fact that there's something inside of you that could help other people, that you could monetize, and then just get on with it. Okay, so these 10 important things that I'm going to be talking you through are split into two main streams here. And if you've been in my world for any length of time, you know that I talk about this a lot. And there are two things that create success. Two things. Most people concentrate on one or the other and don't really get anywhere. There are two things that you must implement together simultaneously. That's one thing about being an entrepreneur. There's hardly any sequential step-by-step thing. Everything generally has to happen at the same time, which can be overwhelming. But again, once you've decided, you'll know what to do. Okay. Anyway, two main things required. Number one is action. We all know this. You need to take massive action. I'm going to break it down more for you, but action. Okay. And clarity. Now, most people, a lot of people either do a lot of action, and we all know somebody that works very, 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 very hard and gets absolutely nowhere because there is no clarity. There's no clarity of vision. There's just, let me just about pay my bills. So that's kind of it. That's the vision. And so that's kind of all they get. But then they have to keep spinning their wheels very, very quickly to try to get that. Okay. And then there's those that spend a lot of time navel gazing and never actually take any action because they're waiting for the Lord, or they're waiting for who knows what, or they're waiting for clarity and complete certainty before they actually move. And that doesn't work either. They just kind of get very clear and very self-aware, but very broke as well, and not actually making a difference to anybody's life. Because ultimately, the more people you serve, the more money you make. If you ain't serving nobody, you're not going to be making no money. Okay? And if you're serving lots of people, but then you're not valuing yourself, you're not checking into yourself to see why you're doing what you're doing and what you really want to make happen, then you'll just keep serving lots of people, be afraid to ask for what you're worth and all of that stuff, and then you're just kind of spinning your wheels very fast to stand still. So you need both. You need both, okay? There are blind spots in you that, frankly, you need a coach as well, because as I told you, I just worked immediately with a coach because I knew there were things that I could not see. I'd lived so long in my own skin that I wasn't completely independent thinking or objective about what was keeping me stuck. Are you? I doubt it. Okay, anyway, action clarity results in purpose-driven success and wealth, okay? So if you want the success, you want the wealth, you want to monetize your purpose, you want to figure out how to use your skills, your experiences, and all that kind of stuff to actually support other people, then honey, action and clarity required. Let's break it down a little bit. Action. Communicate. Okay, so action. Let's start with, I'm assuming first here that you have some kind of product or service that you want to deliver. So it might be your own product. It might be that you're an affiliate for somebody else. It might be that you have a service, you have something, a skill that you can help people with. It might be that you have books that you want to write, or it's music, or it's art, or it's even a ministry. And I always like to give a side note here that sometimes people in ministry seem to think they're somehow above the rules. They're not, okay? Any successful person in ministry, if you study what they've done, they're very business-minded, okay? It's I did a live stream a few nights ago saying something about sheep and lion or something, sheep and lion. And the sheep, unfortunately, seem to think there's some kind of magical bullet, spiritual bullet, where God will just open all doors and you don't have to do anything. Well, the lions recognize that you have to work a particular system to make it work. You have to be business-minded in order to run a ministry, to do a charity, to make any of that stuff work. So no matter how socially minded you are, if you do not run it like a business, you will not last. You will not be able to do the work you want to do, to have the impact you want to have. And I like to mention this because sometimes people kind of get this, I'm doing good, and so therefore there should be some kind of miracle for me. Miracles are only ever found on the journey that everybody is taking. Well, when I say everybody, I mean everybody on the narrow path, not everybody on the broad path, okay? So on the narrow path of entrepreneurship, of being a successful person in ministry, even, there are certain things you need to do. One of which is communicate with people. If people don't know you're there, then people don't know you're there. Especially with online business. Okay, if people don't know you're there, people don't know you're there. You can build a website. You can have the most pretty, amazing website on the planet, and people do spend an incredible amount of time trying to get the most perfect website on the planet. They get it out there, and nobody knows it's there, and so therefore it doesn't actually help anything. There's who knows how many billions of websites on the planet. Some deserted because people discovered the hard way that just having a pretty website doesn't actually mean that anybody knows you're there. Okay, so communicating. Now, most of you are here because you've seen some kind of video of mine, or you've seen a blog post of mine, or you've read one of my emails, or something. You've seen me somewhere, and so you are here. Okay, every single person in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club or in the History Maker program, every single person has seen me doing something somewhere. Okay, that's how they kind of came into my world. That is how you will find people when you start to share of yourself. Okay, when you start to tell, you share this is where your stories come in. This is where your experiences come in. Because, okay, for some of you, your business will be your story and your experiences. But some of you, your marketing will be your story and your experiences. Okay, so the history, the past story that used to keep you bound can now save other people, and also let them be aware that you can support them with your product, service, whatever it is that you're putting out there in the world. Okay, there is a way. Maybe your thing immediately cannot be monetized, but there is a way to monetize it. There is a way to monetize it if you will open your mind to the possibilities and the opportunities available. Okay, so as I said, your marketing may be your story, your experiences, which will then draw people who are similar to you, because they'll hear your words and it will resonate with them, and they'll be wanting to know what you're up to. Okay. Or it might be that, yeah, you might be a coach or a consultant or some kind of service provider who ultimately you're providing service based on what you've been through yourself. Okay. But whichever way, it'll still be your story, experiences that will be your marketing. Because we're not marketers as such. We're not going to just sit there trying to tweak numbers up, down, and left, right, and center. So what we want to do is connect heart to heart. And we connect heart to heart by doing things like videos and blogging and, doing webinars like this and all of that stuff. So yeah, you got to handle that fear that tells you that you cannot or you don't have anything to say. We'll be talking about that soon anyway. But for right now, you need to communicate. Action, communicate. This is one very important thing to do. And you know what? Even if you do not know what you're going to be selling yet, start communicating. You need to start building an audience from before even you have a product. And if you already have a product, that's fine. You start right now to start building an audience. I cannot emphasize this enough. You start building an audience as soon as is possible. You then capture these people into your world. So you're finding that where they are, you go and deliver your blogs and your videos and your everything, live streams, all of that stuff, where they are. And then you make an invitation to them to come to where you are. Some will come, others will just kind of like, yeah, whatever, basically. And some will hate you. Doesn't matter. You're looking for the ones out of the 7 billion people on this planet who are your people, the ones that you are called to serve. So you want to capture them. You capture them with giving them something away for free. So for instance, now you're here because I captured you. Okay. Again, I communicated with you. You liked what you heard. You saw the call to action. You reacted to it. You are here. Okay. The same thing will happen for you. Whatever your product, service, ministry, books, whatever is, the same thing will happen if you start to communicate and you tell people what you want them to do next or what you like them to do next, and then invite them into your world. So you can start with your Facebook page or your Instagram page or your whatever it is that you are. And then you invite them onto your mailing list if you so choose as well. Now, a mailing list, yeah, it is. I do think everybody needs to have one and be building that thing every single day. But you know what? If you're just getting started, do not use that as a reason not to communicate. Start communicating anyway. Start communicating anyway. Bring them onto your Facebook page. Literally, you could build a whole business on Facebook and never have a website, basically, if you didn't want to. The only problem, of course, for you is if Facebook ever closed down, then that would be a problem. But you could be building all this stuff off Facebook whilst at the same time building a business on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is that you are. Facebook particularly lends itself to building a business because you can get your page and you can literally list your products on Facebook. So there's no reason not to, okay? So capture people into your world. That is an action you must be taking on a daily basis. You must be increasing your audience size every single day. If you're still speaking to the same people you were speaking to last year, is it any wonder that sales have slowed or are non-existent? Okay, you need to always be increasing the number of people you're speaking to every single day, and then you want to close them. So you're actually, telling them what you would like them to do next. So offer something, tell them, and tell them regularly. Do not assume that because they've come into your world, they know what you do. Do not assume that most people are too much into their own life because, yeah, they're busy, same as you. They're busy, they're distracted. If you do not tell them on a regular basis what it is that you would like them to do very specifically, then don't expect them to do anything, okay? So again, it's not, you have to, anyway, we're going to be talking about this a bit, but it's like, right now I'll mention it, you have to believe enough in what you have to offer, okay? And belief is a choice, okay? Okay, so close people, also get them, if they're on your mailing list, then you could set up email campaigns and all that kind of stuff to make sure that they're always hearing about your thing over and over and over again until they're ready to move, okay? Okay, now, in terms of action, consistency is critical, and this is, again, where people drop the ball. They're not consistent with doing the stuff that I've talked about. They do it for a bit, they don't get as much response as they think they should have got, and so then they feel, oh my gosh, something is something, or there's some kind of drama in your life, and you think that means that you're allowed to stop. Unfortunately not. We have to stay consistent. You need to have certain habits in your life that regardless of what is happening, you turn up and do what needs to be done. It's like it doesn't matter what is going on in my life. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter any of that stuff, because I will wake up and I will have a quiet time. I will write a blog that is a communication to my people. I will do a video, all of that stuff, because it's just a habit. I will do it. If my day does not end till it is done. Okay, and I try to get it out of the way, actually first thing in the morning before my children wake up. Because, yeah, then the children wake up and I need to pay them attention. But I've created these habits around the actions that I take. So if you see the stuff that I'm putting out there, it's because I've created a habit around it. There's no, should I do it or should I not do it? You just do it, basically, and that's all there is to it. And the truth of the matter is that I enjoy writing, and some of y'all enjoy writing. Until you think of it as a business, and then suddenly you don't enjoy it so much anymore. You enjoy speaking. You have a lot to say normally, and then you put on your business head, and suddenly it's like, I don't know what to say. Get over that. Build these habits into your life where it's like I do it. This is who I am. This is what I do. That's it. There's just no question about it. It's what I do. Okay, and then confidence. You have to show up in the marketplace confidently. So do whatever you need to do. So when I talk about a quiet time first in the morning, one of the reasons I'm doing it is also to remind myself who I choose to be that day. Who am I? Who am I? I am leader of the 334,000, and I show up as such. Okay? And so, yeah, I'm writing it out. I am declaring it to myself. This is who I am. And it is part of action. Because if you come onto the marketplace and you sound kind of wimpy and not confident, for one, you might not even come out. And for two, it comes across, your energy comes across to people and they're thinking, not sure, basically, and that's it. So you have to show up confident. You do whatever it takes to be confident. I talk to my clients about their sexuality as well, because that impacts your confidence and your charisma and all of that stuff. And just like I mentioned, your spirituality affects your confidence and your charisma, particularly if you're a spirit-driven person, which most of y'all are going to be. If you're in my community, the chances are that you are. And so that is important to us. And so we have to figure this stuff out so that we show up in the marketplace and we're taking action powerfully. Okay? Okay. Consistency and confidence, incredibly important parts of action. Let's talk about clarity. I should have numbered all of these, but I haven't anyway. So this is it. And I've kind of mentioned this a few times, but I'll mention it again. Do you actually believe in the power of your message? When I say your message, I'm talking about the stuff that because I speak to a lot of people and you've gone through stuff that you really want to help other people with, or you have products that you know could help people. Because I know that none of y'all are just selling something just for the money. No, you are selling it because you believe in it. Now you have to bolster that belief. And again, belief in yourself, in your stuff is a choice. If you continue to humor thoughts of, oh, I'm not really sure whether this is going to help anyone. Oh, I don't know if, this and that and the other. Honey, then that becomes the habit. That becomes what you are choosing to believe. You get to choose whether you believe that what you have is good. Not just good, but awesome. And you show up in the marketplace as someone who has something awesome. It is a choice. Are you enough? That too is a choice. It is a choice. Yes, there is work to be done to build a foundation of strength inside of you, for sure. But you can still choose every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every half an hour that you are, in fact, deciding that for this next half hour, I am enough. Okay, so whilst you're working out the internal crazy and working out the blocks with your coach or whatever you're doing to sort it out, you choose anyway that, how would I act if I truly believe that what I'm putting out in the marketplace is amazing? And be that person. Then you choose to be that person. You choose it. Okay, it is a choice. I cannot emphasize this enough, because sometimes people kind of wait and wait and wait for things for them to feel better. You don't wait to feel better. You just choose to feel better. Okay. You choose to believe in what you have to offer, and you offer it over and over again with power, with confidence, with consistency. Okay. It's a choice. It's a choice. I write in my journal what I choose to believe each day. Do it too. If you're struggling with self-belief issues, if you're struggling, and I did a rock solid self-belief program, you can ask about that if you want to, or join me on the History Maker program and you'll get that anyway. But it's a choice. When it comes down to it, the bottom line is choose to believe in yourself. Choose to love yourself. Choose to believe that what you have to offer the world is amazing. Choose it. That is it. Every single successful person you see out there goes through times of feeling like, what the heck am I doing? But then they make a choice. I want to serve people, so therefore I choose to give them something good. And this thing that I have here, I've done my research on it. I know it is good. It's hard when you're selling yourself. Okay, so if you're a service provider, there's a part of you that thinks, yeah, but am I enough? It's a choice. Are you enough or not? If you choose to be enough, if you choose to make sure that, of course, you've done your due diligence, you've done the training you need to do, or whatever it is, that does not mean you get caught up in doing training after training after training after training after training, waiting for this elusive feeling of confidence. No. You make a decision, you make a choice. I am enough. I have enough inside of me to support somebody right now. I am one step ahead of this person over here, so therefore I can help them. Okay? And whilst I'm helping them, I'm getting better. I'm doing everything I need to do in the background, but I carry on doing the work as well, doing the external action work as well as getting better at what I'm doing so that I become the best. It's a choice. Second thing here, in clarity, God on your side. If you're spirit-driven or religious in any way, this can be such a barrier. And sometimes it's a very internal one, and it's one of those things that seems so normal. It seems like that's the way I'm supposed to feel because everybody around you feels that way, but everybody around you isn't actually living out the calling on their life. So why are you looking at them? Why are you looking at them for some kind of guidance or whatever? No, you are called to something more. You need to go straight to source. Okay, because for a long time I wasn't sure because I belonged to a church which said that you couldn't use your talents to make money, that it was wrong somehow, that you were supposed to make money doing something you didn't like, whereas using your talents for free, basically. And that was the logic. Basically, even then I questioned it, but I was part of this community. I wanted to belong, and they loved me, and I wanted to be loved. So I just kind of went along with it until finally it's like there's just something wrong with this. This is what I'm called to. This is what I'm called to, and I cannot believe that I've been given a call or a vision, and that I'm not allowed to create wealth from it. So how am I supposed to live whilst doing it? What kind of God would that be? Taunting me with this thing and then saying that, well, you only can do it at evenings and weekends. And I tried that and I went bankrupt, man. So, so there has to be another way. And I went straight to source. And I realized that actually that some of these rules, some of these regulations, some of these traditions were not actually were not actually spirit given. They were just some person decided this is what you're supposed to believe. And so therefore everybody just went along with it. And unless you question some of this stuff, you don't realize that it's holding you back. And because you want so much to belong to the tribe, you don't question what the tribe believes. And honey, we are called to come out. We're called out of that because we are different. We think differently, and there isn't anything wrong with that. I spent so long thinking there was something wrong with me. Why can't I just be the same as everybody else? Because I'm not the same as everybody else. Okay, and the truth is, I do believe that every single person on this planet has a particular call or whatever to step into. But until they're ready to, then they just kind of stay in the tribes, try and form little cliques where everybody does the same kind of thing and thinks the same kind of way. And I can't do that any longer. Sometimes it's painful. And if you read the post on my page earlier on my profile today, you know that today has been a very emotional day for me, walking away again. Because that's the thing about being one of us, is that first of all, it's my family I didn't agree with completely. It doesn't mean I've walked away completely from my family, but it just means that I'm not able to just kind of go along with some of the things that the tribe would want me to do. And so that causes friction. So it causes friction with family. It causes friction with practically every church I belong to in the end, because finally it's like, I just cannot just accept this just because you said so. Which, yeah, I used to just think I'm just rebellious, but I'm not rebellious. I just know. I know I have a direct connection with spirit myself. So I know what I need to be doing. And when I try to go against that, I feel dead inside. I feel my soul dying. And yeah, I could choose to just pretend it's not happening and just kind of go along with something. I always have that choice. But I want to make sure that when I get to the end of my life, I have done it all. I've done what I was here to do. I've expanded to the most that I could have expanded in the time that I was on this planet. And I've already wasted enough time. I've already wasted enough time trying to jump through the hoops and pretending this and that, the other. So honey, let me just tell you this. God is on your side. If you will dare to ask the real questions rather than just going along with stuff. Okay? Your vision is your permission. There is no more waiting. There is just you deciding, I am actually going to figure this thing out. Because once you get on the path, miracles will find you on the path. They don't find you whilst you're on the fence. Okay. Another one, will they think I'm crazy? Well, I've already kind of mentioned this, but yeah, people will think you're crazy at times, okay? Some people will think you're crazy and other people will think, oh my gosh, you are like a godsend to me. And you are looking for the ones that you're a godsend to. You're not looking for the ones that think you're crazy. Let them think you're crazy. So what? Be you. Be you fully. Strip off the layers that life has placed on you, because there was a reason that you're created in the way that you were created. You were created with a particular vision, a particular call, a particular purpose, with a particular shape. Honey, you want to go back to the original shape. No matter how crazy and out there it seems, there is room for you. And in fact, there are your people waiting for you to show up. They don't know they're waiting for you, though, because they too are kind of caught up in trying to be like everybody else. And then suddenly you show up with your peculiar shape. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for you all my life. Basically, and then you help them see that their shape is cool too. And yeah, you support them with your stuff, whatever your stuff is. Okay? So yeah, some people will think you're crazy. Sometimes even the people that love you will think you're kind of crazy. And then you'll have people looking at you with pity at times, thinking like, oh, poor you. Why don't you just relax? But you're not the same. Okay? Clarity. Okay, so another one, I get rich, they get poor. So this is another thing for spirit-driven people, particularly, or good-hearted people, whoever you are, basically. There's a part of you that thinks that if you get wealthy, somebody else will get poor. And it's not the truth. The truth is everybody's better off, actually. Everybody's better off. And I can tell you that for a fact, having lived with poverty myself, I've been in a third world country myself, I've seen real, true, horrible poverty. But this is the thing. Things were considerably worse for everybody about 50 years ago. Okay? So everybody's getting a little bit better. I'm not saying there isn't a gap between the rich and the poor, but I promise you that, well, this is the thing. It's like, how does you being poor or you being just okay help anybody who is poor? I think I mentioned this kind of at the beginning. It's like, how does that help anything? If you do not have access to excess, how can you help anybody else? You'll be trying to help them from a place of weakness and bankruptcy will find you. Okay? Or you can choose to realize that if you get rich, you can help somebody else get wealthier. And also, the other side of this is this. You need to realize that every single human being on this planet has the same ability and power to step out of their circumstances the same as you. Now, I recognize that there are people that have even worse, well, when compared to you living in UK, US, Australia, wherever, comparing that to somewhere in Africa or the back beyond somewhere, it could be different. But I promise you this, from somebody who has lived in Africa, that there are always people in each of these communities who are doing better than other people, the same as there are here, because they make a decision that this isn't going to be my story. And everybody has that ability. And as much as sometimes people think I'm very callous with the way I speak, because I say, but to me, it's because I say things like, no, I'm not going to just hand money out. I will tell you what to do, and now you need to do it. Okay? And because to me, human beings are powerful creatures. We are powerful beyond what we even realize. Okay? So, and I think that of every single person. So for me to pretend that they are weak and then treat them like they're weak would be anathema to me. So me saying that I'm getting rich and that means everybody's going to get poor is me saying that somehow I'm more powerful than somebody else. And that's not the case. Everybody's as powerful as I am. They may not have been exposed to the same things that I have been, which is why I do the work that I do, which is why I exhort you to do the work that you're here to do, because then you can spread the word, right? Basically, you can spread the word. You can spread the word. You could send people off to go and spread the word as well, because you now have access. At the moment, we have leaders in that people look at and think, oh, they should do this and they should do the other and whatever. But it's like, there's no point. What are you looking at your politicians or your whatever and thinking that they should do anything when you have chosen to live smaller? And a lot of spiritual people, that is the choice they make. Oh, I don't want to, I don't want to get rich because what? Then you have no right to speak against anyone who has broken out of their poverty. And most of the rich we look at have come from have come from where we are or where you guys are right now. So it's not, yeah, some people were born with a silver spoon, but most people weren't. Okay. So therefore there's no difference between you and anybody out there, anybody anywhere. So if you get richer, honey, other people can come along for the ride too. They have that choice. But also just from a very look at the world, the truth is things are a lot better for everyone than they used to be. So don't forget that. Live in an abundant space. Don't give in to the living in a lack space where you think there's a zero sum or something. There isn't. This is a monopoly. This is an abundant world. Inside of people's heads are great ideas that need to be unleashed. But if people are operating from lack and fear, then those ideas stay stuck inside. So let us be abundant people and spread abundance everywhere. Okay? Okay, moving on. Oh my goodness, where are we? Yeah. What if I run out of things to say? Yeah, if you're building an online business, there's a lot of content to be created. And you might think, oh, I'm going to run out of things to say. Well, I say this. Connect with source, connect with spirit, connect with your intuition, and you will never run out of anything to say. Ask yourself the question, what do my people need to hear? And then actually act on what comes up inside of you. It will take practice to begin with, because yeah, you've probably been one of those people that swats away ideas that seem outside of your realm of experience. So if it doesn't seem very practical and sensible, you think that's kind of useless. But if you look at some of the stuff that I write, the things that attracted you into me were not just tips, tricks, and strategies. I may have written some posts about, how to do marketing and how to do this and that and the other. But most of my things are just encouraging you. Most of my things are motivating you. Most of my things are inspiring you. Most of my things are just calling you out from things that are not necessarily business related. Because that's what I feel my people need to hear. And so therefore, I just put it out there. I kind of used to try to write, if I went through a phase where I don't even do that anymore. I used to kind of say, this is my heartfelt post, and this is my strategic post, basically. So I'd write one heartfelt post that came out of my quiet time and all that kind of stuff. And then I'd write a few different posts, all to do with 5 tips to build your mailing list, and 3 tips to do this and the other. And then it's just kind of boring, man. I hardly do that ever again. I don't really do that. In fact, I don't do it at all. Thankfully, there's some of those on the website, I suppose. But I don't do that because I just feel I just write. I ask myself the question, or I ask Spirit the question, what do my people need to hear right now? And then I put it out there. And I ask that question quite regularly through the day, which is why I create a lot of stuff. Okay? So I ask the question, I don't overthink it. I just start to put my hand down to type and start typing it. So you won't run out of things to say if you don't give in to fear. Don't give in to fear. Does anyone want what I have? Again, going back to the beginning, we've talked about this a little bit, but it's ultimately a choice. You choose to put that stuff out there, and you choose to believe that out of the 7 billion people on this planet, you can find a few, and you only need a few, okay, that actually like what you have. And you can also learn better how to position what you have so that people recognize that it is actually going to fulfill their needs. That's the thing, or their wants, because people buy on wants, not necessarily needs. Okay, so you can make a choice to believe, and then you put your stuff out there. It's like you're writing a book. You write the book, you put it out there. You start telling people about it immediately, even before you finish writing the book. You start telling people about stuff. You start sharing little tidbits. You start sharing about where your thoughts have come from, all of that kind of stuff. Start sharing about you, and then you put it out there. Let them decide. Yours is to put your stuff out there and serve them to the best of your ability. Theirs is to decide if they want to be served by you. And yours is not to make a judgment. Yours is just to think, okay, there's 7 billion people on this planet, and I'm called to whatever your number is. And so I'm going to find them. I'm going to keep going until I find them. Okay? I'm going to keep getting better at putting my message out, but I'm going to find them. And that's it. And then you give your life to your purpose, honey. So you're giving your life to something right now. You may as well give it to your calling and your purpose, and that's it. So none of this, does anybody want what I have? You just put your stuff out there, assuming that they do. Okay? And yeah, as it says right there, nobody's going to buy a book if they don't know it's there. Or you've not even written it. Okay? Triggers. I did a whole video on triggers. If you haven't watched the triggers video, go find it on the page, Rosemary Nonny Night. Go and find it. But it's like there's all this. Sometimes you're trying to be loyal to your family, and so you don't put yourself out there. I've had people actually say to me, "I'm too scared to be successful because I might lose my friends, I might lose my family, I might be on my own, and everybody might think I'm all up with myself and this and that and the other." And that's an actual literal fear. And so therefore, you're not going to be consistent at doing the work, are you? Because somewhere in the back of your head, you're thinking, if I get too successful, everybody's going to hate me. I'm going to be alone. Why would you get successful then? That's a trigger for you. Okay? Or you are still reacting to something that happened to you when you were 3, and you're still reacting as an adult, and you don't even realize that right now, the reason why you're not doing the work is because something happened when you did that particular thing when you were 5 years old, and you're still playing the same tune now that you're 45 years old. What are your triggers? Are you checking? Are you checking to see why you're not doing the work? What is getting in your way? Are you looking? Are you digging into you? But again, you don't dig alone. You dig at the same time you're taking action, basically. And in fact, it's the fact that you're taking action that will bring these things to light. And then you have to do the work of figuring out what they're about. It's easier to do with a coach for sure. But if you choose to do it on your own, then do it. Actually look and figure out, why am I holding back? Why am I not playing full out? What is getting in the way of me following through on my purpose? Why am I telling myself it is not practical or feasible for me to make money from the thing that I'm called to do? Why do I think that somehow I've been given a vision and a purpose, but I'm not being given the ability to create wealth and look after my family from it? Why do I think that I can have one without, well, I can't have my cake and eat it? Why do I think that I have to live in lack? Why? Check yourself. Check yourself for these questions, because some of these things that I'm asking you right now, you take as normal. You think this is the normal way that everybody lives. Everybody can't really get what they want. So therefore, I just need to settle into it, or find a half vision or half goal here and be happy that I even got that far. After all, I've done a little bit more than everybody I know. So let's be grateful. And I'm not saying don't be grateful for where you are, but I am saying some of this thinking is so insidious that you don't even realize that it is happening to you. Except you're kind of stuck and you're wondering why you're stuck. It's because there's a part of you that has accepted that this is it. This is it for you. And in fact, you've done more than others. So, hey, let's be thankful. And I'm saying, no, honey, you're born and called for more. And it is time that you started to live it out. Okay? So those are the 10 important things here. And you know what? I know that if you've been listening in and taking notes, that there are things here that you can take into your life and implement, particularly from an action point of view. Are you taking the action you need to take on a daily basis? And if you are, and most people will say no, and in fact, if I looked into your life, I would probably wonder. I don't know, but some of you do work very hard, so I'm not even going to diminish that. But if you are and you're still hitting a ceiling, or you haven't quite figured out how to monetize your passion or your purpose or whatever, and I promise you there is a way, and if you're not sure, then definitely listen into what I'm about to say next. But there is a way. So you need to figure out, where am I dropping the ball here? Am I not clear? Am I not doing the clarity work? Am I not doing the mindset work? Am I not taking enough action? What is it that I'm doing? Because the work always works. I say this to my clients all the time. The work always works. So if you come from the place of that the work will always work, if the work ain't working for you right now, then there is something that you're missing. There's a blind spot that is blocking your freedom. And that needs to be dealt with so that it doesn't keep holding you back from the life that you are born to live. As my coach says, there is no more time to live the wrong life. Okay? So wealth comes as a result of doing everything that we've just talked about. Your wealth, and when I talk about wealth, I am thinking about not just financial wealth, although financial is a big part of it. Let's just be honest, okay? I almost feel like I always have to qualify this to you guys, because I know a lot of people feel quite uncomfortable around money. And that needs to be handled. That needs to be handled. Okay? It's like you need to give people the privilege of paying you and investing in their own development. Anyway, wealth is an all-round thing in all areas of your life. But as you do the things that we've talked about here, you will create wealth. You will. Success is inevitable if you will stay on the narrow path. And the narrow path is a path that most people don't want to be on. Okay? And the narrow path, unfortunately, is a path that to people around you might make you feel a little bit like you're crazy for being there. But you're not. That is where you need to be in order to reach your promised land. Okay? So the question is this. Yeah, you can go do everything that I've talked about here. You've probably taken some ideas that you can go and implement. You are going to get that wonderful PDF report that will give you a Facebook strategy if you stick around with me to the end. All of that stuff, you can go do it on your own. But what happens when you hit a snag? What happens when you hit some self-doubt, which will inevitably happen because you're trying to train yourself out of it at the moment? So what happens then? Would it help you to have me available to you all the time to move forward? If so, the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club is the place to be, okay? I am so proud of this club. It was like I was doing standalone programs, one by one, selling things to people, this and that and the other. And I suddenly realized it would be so amazing to have a place where I can, because it's one thing to buy a program, okay? And then it's another thing to actually, complete it. And then it's another thing to actually figure out how it applies to your specific concern. So it'd be great to have a place where I can support people individually as much as possible in a group. So it's affordable for everyone. Okay. And they can have access to everything that I've done. I can create as much as I want to create because I'm not one of those people that likes to create stuff. And they get the benefit of, because I work with multi-million-dollar coaches and all of that stuff. And everybody in the club gets the benefit of my brain for that, to create a space. And it's out of there that Project 334K then came, because it's like 334,000 people in a place and everybody gaining all of this knowledge at an affordable way, and then all psyching each other up because frankly, most of us are surrounded by people who don't get what we're about. As much as they love us and we love them, sometimes they don't get it. You want to be in a space where people get you. When you say something, they're not trying to tell you to relax and chill out and stop. after you worked hard enough. No, no, no. You don't want to be hearing that. You might listen to them. Basically, you want to hear people saying, yeah, I get it, honey. I feel your pain. Okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing you can do? How can we get you past this? That's the kind of thing you want to hear. And that's why I created the club. Okay. And as I already mentioned, there are two streams to it, action and clarity. And you get programs in these two streams. So let's talk about action. You get the Business Hero Bootcamp. You're not quite sure how to monetize your purpose and all of that stuff. This will help you. 8 weeks to kind of put foundations in place and everything so that you can start selling stuff and making money, as well as making a difference, man. So 8 weeks, we do this together. Okay, build my list now. You can build your mailing list to tell you exactly what you need to do to build your mailing list. Facebook for Business. I show you how to use Facebook, the free parts of Facebook, and I show you how to use the paid parts of Facebook. It's a 6-week thing. It's broken into 3 weeks of free stuff. So like a profile, the page, the groups, what you do with all that stuff. And then finally, the paid advertising and how do you use advertising and all of that is covered. And I renew this every single year. As well as the Business Hero Bootcamp, I like to make sure that it's all up to date and that it has the most current marketing stuff is in there. You get access to all to them as well as the updates as part of the club. Email marketing the warrior way. So you get people onto your list. What do you do next with them? So then this gives you templates that you can build an email campaign. So you're telling people about your stuff over and over and over again until they buy stuff from you. This will help you put that campaign together. Turn what you know into wealth. This will help you take that knowledge, skills, experiences, and put it into an online course that will then help you can make money from and change people's lives at the same time. Because again, the more people you serve, the more money you make. You serve people with what is inside of you, you start to create wealth for you and yours and beyond, as we've already talked about, okay? And then there's Eagle Vision, which is gets you very clear about what it is you're trying to create and puts a plan in place for you to actually make that happen. You get this as part of the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, okay? You'll make your first sale online program. You get that as part of the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. It's all in there, ready and waiting for you. Turn $10 into 11, 20, 50 or more. There's a particular strategy that I teach you. In fact, I think there's 3 strategies that I teach you using Facebook advertising on how to actually turn your money into more. This program will show you exactly what you need to do. Okay, so that even if you start in the truth, you could start with $1 on Facebook, truth be told, okay? So you can start with $10 here and start making more out of it. But in the Facebook advanced training, I take you through, and even if you come into the group and you ask me questions, I take you through how you can start with $1 a day, okay, until you're making some more money, and then you go up and you go up and you go up, and you can do that, okay? With Facebook, it makes it incredibly easy for you to do this stuff. Revolution! You need to see yourself as a bit of a revolutionary leader, okay? That you are, you're joining your tribe and you're using your words to do this. You're building an audience, you're generating leads, you're impacting people, you're making money. This program will help you get through all of that stuff and start doing that. Video visibility challenge. Some of y'all have difficulties with doing videos. This will give you 12 topics that you can do videos on. So all you need to do is switch on your phone, do a video based on the topic. That's it. So you don't have to think about the topic as well. And then hopefully by the time you've done that 12 days, you start to think of your own topics that you can start to put out there, okay? The 10-day business launch bootcamp, you want to get really going in 10 days. This will help you do that. You get that as part of the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. I even wrote a book around it, okay? Then there's Dominate Social Media Now. You know that everybody's on social media. You heard about me on social media. So you want to know the different platforms that you can use, okay, to actually start gathering an audience and getting people interested in what you have. And this program will help you do that. Okay, email 5K plus a month blueprint is just very short, condensed. This is what you need to do with your emails, okay? This is how you need to build it up, and this is what you need to do afterwards in order to make sure you're following up with them. And this will get you to 5K a month. And so that's blueprint there. It comes with a workbook and the training thing, and you get all of that as part of the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. So for the action side of things, you get Business Hero Bootcamp, which actually covers offline marketing as well as online marketing. There's Build My List Now. There's Set Up Your Profit Creating Sales Funnel. There's Advanced Facebook Training. There's Turn What You Know Into Wealth. There's Eagle Vision. Make Your First Sale Online. There's Turn $10 into More. Email 5K a month blueprint. Dominate Social Media Now. There's Revolution. There's Video Visibility Challenge. And there's the 10-day launch bootcamp. You get all of that, which would normally, if you bought it standalone, $2,585. But you get it in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club for an incredible amount. And I'll tell you what that is at some point. Wait a minute. Tell me, so if you use this stuff, you started to get an extra client, and then you multiplied that, and you kept doing that, where would you be this time next year? Okay, so you just kept adding on because you're implementing new things. You're in the club, you're getting excited, you're getting new ideas all the time. Where could you be in a year's time? Or if you keep doing what you're doing right now, where could you be in a year's time? Okay, clarity stream. You get things like people please no more. One of the biggest things that stops people from doing the things that they're supposed to do is fear of what people will think of them. This will help you handle that, okay? As well as there's so many insidious things that come out of that fear of what people will think of you. Like there's fear, there's anger, there's manipulation. All of that stuff will be dealt with in this program. You need it, okay? There's master your money. You need to get that money mindset. This program will help you do that. There is overcome procrastination. How much procrastination have you been doing recently? This will help you handle that, and you get it as part of the club. Goal mastery as well. Let's get very clear about what you're trying to make happen, and then put plans in place to make things happen. This will help you do that. Fearless warrior. Fear is another thing that holds people back. Oh, I'm scared of doing this and I'm scared of doing that. This will help you handle that, okay? And wake up to your purpose. You're not quite sure what you're here to do. This will help you get clear on what you can start doing in order to make money doing what you love, okay? No competition strategies. So where you are, you just create your own marketplace, basically. You create your own niche by following these things that I actually talk about in this program. Then you get that as well, okay? So recap: master your money, overcome procrastination, wake up to your purpose, fearless warrior, goal mastery, people please no more, no competition strategy, and one I didn't even mention, the science of getting rich bootcamp. I think that's a 10-day bootcamp which you get access to as soon as you join the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. Now, if you bought each of these individually, you would pay $585.68. Okay? And in addition to the programs, okay, because even if I was just giving you the programs alone, that would be something if you used them. But as I already said, it's one thing to have programs, it's one thing to use them, it's another thing to use them, right? And it's another thing to implement them, and it's another thing to figure out how it's relevant to your specific circumstances. So what I do in addition to the programs is I give you access to the club, which at the moment is on Facebook, but as we get bigger, we'll probably take it off Facebook and create our own a place. But for right now, it's a Facebook group where you come into the group and be part of things in there. And that on its own would be $50 a month. If I was selling just access to the group, $50 a month, $600 a year, okay? And then my brain, as I already said, I work with multi-million coaches. I've invested so much in myself, and I continue to, so that I can disseminate this stuff to the people in my world, the people that I am called to. I will always keep myself at the top of my game because it's not just about me. And so I call it priceless. my one-on-one clients, the one-on-one clients I have currently outside of History Maker, I charge them $2,500 a month for access to me. But you get access to me in the club for an incredible sum, and I will tell you about that soon. So recap again: action, Business Hero Bootcamp, build my list now, set up your profit creating sales funnel, which is all the email templates, advanced Facebook training, turn what you know into wealth, Eagle Vision, make your first sale online, turn $10 into a lot more, 5K a month blueprint, dominate social media now, revolution, video visibility challenge, 10-day launch bootcamp. Okay, all of that totals $2,585, and that's just the action stream. Then we have the clarity stream with master your money, with overcome procrastination, with wake up to your purpose, with fearless warrior, with goal mastering, with people please no more, with no competition strategy, and the science of getting rich bootcamp, all valued at $585 and a few cents there. Okay, and you get access to the club. You are getting access to my brain. Okay. So all of that would be more than $5,000 if you chose to pay for it individually. And honey, I'm happy to take $5,000 from you if that's what you would rather do. Okay. If you want any of those programs as a standalone, I'll give it to you as a standalone. Or you can test drive the whole club for $1. But guess what? The dollar offer ends the end of this month, which is, guess what? Tonight. Tonight. Oh, I'm supposed to put a button up right now. Let me remember my techie stuff that I'm supposed to be doing right here. And it is, actually, I was going to show you a video. Now, nah, I won't show you the video right now, actually. Or maybe I should. Should I? Nah, it's another minute. Nah, I can't bother to show you the video right now. But it is actually a video of one of my clients in the club saying about how much she gets out of the club, okay? If you went to DM Fast Track, the link you can see right there on the screen, you can actually watch the video right there. But I think right now we've gone over the hour that I hoped to give this. So I don't want you to be here much longer unless you want to be. But I like spending time with you, you know. Anyway, I put a button on the screen right now, which will take you straight to PayPal to give you $1. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And this is why somebody was asking me on the phone, why? Why would you do that? And it is because of Project 334K. I want to be very clear about this. It's not because of anything else. It's about 334K. Because I know what I'm called to. So I'm willing for you to come in and test this for 3 days, $1, but you only get till the end of today, okay? So midnight Eastern, it goes up or it changes, basically. $1. Normally, the price for this club is $97 a month. But what I'm doing for people who act fast is that you get it for $1, you test it out for 3 days. If you like us, you stick around, you'll be charged $49. So that's half of the 97. But this is the thing. Normally it's $97 for as long as you're a member. So if you stayed a member for like the next 5 years, you'll be paying $97 for the next 5 years. But what I'm doing here, and only for a very short time, and it may well end tonight, okay? But I'm following intuition here, so I'll see what the plan is for May. But for right now, what I do know is that you can just pay 10 payments of $49 and be done with it. You could stay in the club forever, and I'll still be sharing my brain with you. You still have access to everything because I always add to the programs. I'm always bringing new stuff in. You are able to ask any questions, so you're never alone in your business, because I have a vision for the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, where we as a club are impacting the world. Because there's so much that each of us can do individually, but together we can do so much more. So I want you to stick around, okay? I want you to stick around because I think that as you start to make money, together we can do more, okay? We can do more. It's like for even your current subscription, so like the 10 payments of $49, 10% of that actually goes to a charity already. It's this place called the Microloan Foundation, which is to help African ladies who are trying to start up their businesses, okay? To give them. And so we as a club are supporting them. And I want to do more of that kind of a thing. And I know that as you stick around, as you see the vision of what I'm trying to do here, I want you to make the decision to stick around. And so I'm making it easy for you. 10 payments and that's it. Okay? But I even go one step further. So it's $1 for the first 3 days, and then it's 10 payments of $49 if you choose to stick around, but there's no contract in place. So if you suddenly decided, oh, I don't want to, then that's fine, because I don't want anybody in my world that doesn't want to be in my world, okay? Just to be very, very clear. And I don't know how long this is going to last for. The truth is, at some point, it's going to go back to $97 every single month for as long as you remember, and that'll be that. But for right now, this is what you have. But again, it's only for the next few hours, actually. So you have two choices. Do nothing. Don't take me up on this, even though it's 100% risk-free. Or you can make this small investment today, okay, compared to all the value you're getting, more than $5,000 for $1. Okay, and if it works, great. And if not, then you just ask for your money back, because you get a 60-day guarantee as well. So if for whatever reason you get to the 59th day and you're suddenly thinking to yourself, this is never gonna work for me, and you can look me in the eye and you can say you've implemented and it's not working, it's never gonna work, then fine, you get your money back. Because again, I don't want anybody in my world that doesn't want to be in my world, okay? Because I want us together to be changing the world. So yeah, we need to be in alignment. So I'm cool for you to leave, and if you want your money back, I'll give you your money back in the first 60 days. I don't mind. I just want you to try this because I know what I've created, and it is amazing. It is amazing. In fact, you know what? I am going to get you to watch that video. because it's one thing for me to say it, although if I put the video on, then the button goes away. So no, go and watch the video on the page if you really want to. It's on rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track, and you also get access to all of this, and you'll see that the whole offer is going away at midnight Eastern tonight. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, as I've already said a few times, you can buy the books, you can try the courses, you can do the one-off things here, there, and everywhere. And that's fine. You will get what you need, but you will not get the community. You will not get the ongoing motivation. And you'll probably just buy this thing and put it on your shelf somewhere and never actually use it, basically. Whereas in the club, you get access to the training, every single piece of training you need. And if there's anything that I haven't covered, I intend to get experts in to come and be interviewed and everything. Again, I have high plans for this club. So you're getting in to a very awesome place. Okay? And you get me there every single day. You can ask any question. Any question. I do a live stream in the group specifically for the members, answering questions, motivating, inspiring, sometimes even doing challenges with us, just so that we're moving forward together. Okay? So what do you need to do next? Oh, I thought I changed this. What happened here? This was supposed to say click the button on the screen or go over to rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track. Okay? So again, I have to recap because I know what people's memories are like. Let me just tell you again what you're getting. The Business Hero Bootcamp, the Build My List Now program, the Set Up Your Profit Creating Sales Funnel, Advanced Facebook Training, Turn What You Know into Wealth, Eagle Vision, Make Your First Sale Online, Turn $10 into more, Email 5K a Month Blueprint, Dominate Social Media Now, Revolution, Video Visibility Challenge, and the 10-Day Launch Bootcamp, as well as Master Your Money, Overcome Procrastination, Wake Up to Your Purpose, Fearless Warrior, Goal Mastery, People Please No More, No Competition Strategy, the Science of Getting Rich Bootcamp. It's all 22 programs so far. Actually, I've even forgotten, we just added on there how to build your Instagram following. So how to get 3,000 more followers in 30 days. I just added that on actually on Wednesday. I think it was it Wednesday? Wednesday or Tuesday, something like that. I added that on as well. You get access to that immediately in the group. That brings it to 22. And you even get a bonus, get your message out, get more buyers in. That's a program that I sell actually for $600 that you're getting as a bonus for joining the program. So there's all kinds of mysterious, wonderful things that I keep trying to put in and make it even like a no-brainer kind of offer, basically. Okay, again, you're getting access to the club, you're getting access to my brain. And there's an absolutely extra bonus. If one of you decided, or a few of you decided that you wanted to actually sit down with me for 90 minutes, you get this as a bonus. Now, this is normally $499 on its own, the Hash Your Business Out session. But if you go over to rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track, which the link is in there, and I'll probably send it to you in an email as well. But make sure you do this before midnight Eastern tonight, or else it's all gone away. And you join in. In fact, even if you join in for the $1 right now, you'll be taken to a page which gives you the option of getting this 90-minute thing. But to get this 90-minute thing with me, where we sit over Skype, share screen, make sure we're setting you up and all of that kind of stuff, we go full pelt, very quick. 90 minutes, you'll be so surprised how much you get done in 90 minutes. Then all you need to do is get this session. Okay, this is an additional bonus for what I would say the upsell on this, which is that you pay one payment to join the club, to the DM club. So literally one payment. So if you did the whole thing instead of doing $49 for 10 payments, you're doing it $467 and that's it. You get this $499 bonus as well. Okay, but you only can do that only on the page. For whatever reason, this wonderful webinar provider doesn't allow me to put 2 buttons on there, or else I would have. But this is it. So you get that as an extra. If you pay the $1 anyway, when you get taken to the next page, it will show you this anyway. So you can have a look at that there. But for now, remember, all you need for today to come and test drive. It's just £1, $1. It's just not even a pound. $1. Come and try it out for 3 days, and then it's just $49 for just 10 payments. So it's not going on forever. Just 10 payments and it's done. and you can be a member of this club. And honey, if you do not join now, you will regret it, because I promise you this club is going places. You will regret it. You'll wonder, why did I join when I had that opportunity to get in for $1? Basically. So that is it, guys. That is it. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to working with some of you in the club. I know not all of you will be wise enough to make the choice, but I would suggest that you be wise and make the choice. Okay? And come and join me in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. Get access to everything I've mentioned, but more than that, get access to the community, get access to me. Okay? It'd be so great to work with you. It'd be so great to help you move forward. It'd be so great to get you to your first 5K and then beyond that, okay? So let's do this thing together. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you were born to live, because you absolutely want to. And honey, it'll be such a pleasure to work with you. And click the button, and I'll see you in the club. Until the next time, it's been an absolute pleasure. Much love. Ooh, let me just make sure nobody was asking any questions or anything. No, that's fine. Much love. Speak to you soon. Bye.